How's it looking, man? Good?
Yes, let's see, 1 second. Okay, here we go again. This is Leo again and Jose. There we had some problem with the previous broadcasting, but now we are live. And Jose, I think, man, you have to explain the Bitcoin stuff again because people wasn't able to see that. I'm really sorry about this.
That's all right, man. Look at what I'm saying. It's like pretty much to the right here. There you go. That's Bitcoin. Now, the price action of Bitcoin lasts 24 hours, makes you 11%. So let's call it 12%. Let's say you have $22,000 and you're convinced because some kind of Bitcoin bro or anyone on Twitter is telling you to the moon. Well, I got something better for everyone in Brazil, Sao Paulo. Where are you located, Leo? Sao Paulo, huh?
Yes.
Sao Paulo. How you say Sao Paulo? Sao Paulo.
São Paulo.
Sao Paulo. You
São
tell
Paulo.
people in Sao Paulo, and people think like, oh man, in Latin America, like, oh, Bitcoin. No. Stocks in the US, mining stocks. To the left, right here, you have what it's called MARA. That's the ticker symbol for Marathon Digital Holding. And the same stuff that mines, that it's the miner of the Bitcoin that everyone is looking for. That whole thing, as far as making money in the same 24 hours, is making 37.10%, Leo. So with your $22,000, you almost have half of the money. It's powerful, man. It's how people used to laugh like, oh, baby boomers, dinosaurs, who's buying stocks? People were laughing about, people like me that we buy shares. I have nothing against Bitcoin, but I found a better way to maximize time, effort, and resources. Resources being capital. So people, definitely you want to like this video because the content, the valuable information that you're getting, it's undeniable, something that you won't find in Latin America or South America. Don't get fooled by people.
One thing that I don't know, Jose, is last year I was last year until the Ethereum changes its algorithm. I had a 50 GPUs mining Ethereum. It was a really nice operation, but after they changed the algorithm from proof of work for proof of stake, it's no longer profitable anymore. So we had to stop.
Yeah, I can imagine. They tried to change the game, but the reality is at the end of the day, there are better ways. There are ways for us to make money. Those ways, they're absolutely something that I think we have to take advantage, because the whole thing, the marathon thing, Marathon Digital Holdings, it's evidence that there are ways to make money. There are ways you can actually make money, and it's not only Bitcoin. There are ways that you can use like sympathy plays to actually make money out of Bitcoin. So I think this is why I wanted to kind of do this with you, show everyone what's happening, because people have the wrong impression, like, oh, they get all this news like Bitcoin is this, Bitcoin is that. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin is just like any other speculative investment. Like, reality is that you're putting money in, and this is a way for you to make money. This is really a serious way for you to make money. And I think that's why I wanted to share this information, because everyone wants to pay attention. It's a real thing. So remember, Bitcoin 12% in 24 hours. But if you pay attention, Marathon Digital Holdings at the same time, we're taking home 37%. Like, I gotta tell you, Leo, and everyone is paying attention, not even Forex, not even FX is making those kind of moves right now.
No.
It's not moving. We're stuck. As professionals that we are, we love FX, we love going long, euro dollar, we love doing that, the other. But reality, is it paying off? Not really. It's not moving. Why? We'll talk about that. I want to also hear what you have to say, Leo, but I've noticed how they're playing the game with the US dollar. The US dollar is going up, but the price action is telling you something else. They're holding the dollar. They don't want the dollar to go up, actually.
let me see what I can tell you about this. Looking.
If you want to share your screen, go ahead.
Yes. Let me show you this. Okay, can you see?
Let me see. Yeah, I see your screen. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is just a 1 hour chart, and I like to show guys one thing that I like to use, and it's kind of counterintuitive, the use of RSI, because what we learn and what we read about RSI is that the concept of overbought, oversold, and when we have something oversold, it's a nice place to buy, and we have something overbought, it's another nice place to sell. But I want to bring another view of this. First thing that we must have in mind is
You're frozen, Leo.
I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah.
you go like.
So I was telling that going against the trends is not the best option, is not the smart option, because you are going against everyone, and going with the flow, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to hit the trades. And so check this, Jose. One thing that I do using RSI. So let's take a look at this last, we can take the last move, this one that we are seeing right now. So imagine it. How do I use it? How do I use it to put me inside the trend? Okay, where's Fibonacci? Okay, so can you see we have an RSI here? So what I do, Jose, is the following. Instead of just looking at RSI or just look at Fibonacci, what I wait is a strong move from RSI, from, in this case, from above 70 to below 30. Can you see we have this strong move? It was fast. We can even see better moves like this one. Can you see? But let's talk about this that is happening right now. So after I have this strong move, and for a strong move, for example, this thing here, it's not a strong move. Okay, it came from above 70 from to below 30, but it's not a strong move. This is a strong move. This is a strong move. Okay, it's like a punch. So after we have this, what I like to do is to wait a retrace to, let's say, at least 0.38, okay? So I like to see a retrace to a point like this, okay?
Okay.
Like this. And then this is the trade I do. So after we have a breakout here, okay, I enter short and using the retrace place as a stop loss. Someone may argue that yes, but I have seen other people doing something similar. That's okay, but the thing is, the differential here is that we use these things that we can call as impulse on RSI. Okay. So we just have to wait a strong move, and we go into the direction. And talking about trading against the trends, that's exactly who we are taking here on the way, because everyone that is going long right here, where we have this RSI below 30, is the people that we are going to stop when we have the breakout right here. Okay, so we wait this strong move. Let me see if I can delete everything. So we wait for this strong move to happen. Then we wait for the the retracement, and when we have the breakout, we enter on the direction of the trade. And if you want to do even a better trade, what we can do is we can trade on the same direction as the main trend on the, let's say, on the higher time frame. So on daily, we have nothing. That chart was 1 hour, so we can go here to 4 hours, for example. So can you see that we had one impulse on 4 hour charts, that is this one, but look like we haven't. Yes, we have the retracement on the 4 hour charts, but we didn't have the breakout yet. So we just have to wait. And for example, I'm going to show you another one happening right now. If we go to GBP CHF 1 hour. Okay, this is the thing as a strong move that I said. Can you see? This is a strong move. So we have now to wait the retracement here. So the retracement will happen around 1.5. So we have to wait the price to come here, because if not, it's not a valid signal. Okay?
Right. Yeah,
For example,
you need confirmation.
yes.
That's what
For
you need.
example, if the price still going down here after this, this is no longer valid, because the main thing that we have here, that is this strong movie, we don't have it anymore. That's it. So this is another way that I like to look at the RSI. And now talking about the USD, okay, let's see what we have from the
COT, the COT.
Yeah, yes, the COT front, but I think we have nothing new, because looks like there's some problem with CFTC, and the last release is from January. Yeah, they had some problem with a data vendor, and we can see right here. Let me show you. Let's see. Yes, can you see the last data is from they have some cyber related incident on Ion, and I think Ion must be a server, some kind of server, but there's no data, no data yet. But the last thing that we see for USD dollar is non-commercials or speculators closing their loans. Okay, and so they did close their loans, as we see on these last days before some data, but this is from January, end of January, so there's a lot of things going after that. But this is, I think with Euro USD here, we are going to pick it better. I'll show it to you. See, it's exactly this move that I was talking about. So here on the Euro USD, we had, because this old data, speculator adds into their USD loans, and this was making the USD price going up. But I'm pretty sure that on the next release of CFTC, we are going to see this euro positions for speculators going to on the opposite side. So the last data is from here. This is the last release. So it makes sense, data going up, okay, positions being added, but I think we will see some profit taken on the Euro USD and also on the USD. And this is the line that we talked on the last week, 1.0 or 1.04. that we are talking about EURUSD. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, I
And
remember we were talking about it.
Yes, there's nothing relevant to say on my view about the FX. In fact, I have, when I have no cold data, I get a little bit lost of doing stuff because I don't know the bias. So everything that I do, even this zigzag that I show you with the RSI, I always do in the side of the what cold data is telling me, because this is going with the crowd, and going with the crowd in the FX, it's always the best choice, no matter what people say. You have to buy when when everyone wants to sell, you have to sell. Yes, this works in some markets, but this does not work on FX. If you're going to sell when everyone's buying, my friend, you have a real problem.
Yeah, it's definitely a different animal.
Yes.
Just work a different way.
Yes. Do you want to show something, Jose?
No, I mean, that's pretty much where I'm looking at. I'm looking at Roku right now, how things are moving in that particular space. What else is moving right there? QuantumScape Corporation. This is another stock that I will say is doing very well, because you still have a lot of money that Volkswagen invested. Roblox, RBLX, 26.38% today after earnings, doing very well, almost $9 up in the tape. So there's a lot of names that probably people gave up on those names, but they're doing very well today. Let's see if they can extend that all the way to Friday. So that's very important. But other than that, just paying attention to those names. Paying attention to those names. I'm looking at potentially what can Apple do all the way to Friday. 155 Apple. That's very good. I'm still big bullish on potentially what I like to see on the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen. I think if there's more quantitative easing from the government of China, it's still on a path that they're actually kind of throwing money to everyone. I think that's important. And I think that's something that people have to pay attention, not to give up in China. I think next week on the 23rd, we have Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA. That's the one that's going to be reporting. I think that's going to initiate a lot of moves into Chinese stocks today. Baba was down, but it's something that one has to consider as just normal, Leo, because if you have a stock, think about this, you have a stock that next week is going to report earnings, and you think it's going to do something really good, I think you want the stock to move lower before the earnings. Because if it moves too fast, too soon, like Fast and the Furious, I don't think that's good. I think you want something to kind of move lower, or actually being red before the big news, because the news are going to be the catalyst. That's what's going to move the stock. So you want to actually just to slow down. And that's what I think we're seeing Alibaba today. Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA, close at 103.08. And after hours, it's trading at 103.25. Not a big deal, but definitely something that you want to look into next week. But when you pay attention
one thing about what you said on the price going down before a big release, that's one thing that people can get, because most of the time I see people buying, let's say, Alibaba, and we know this is going to have a really nice, really nice result with a big earning, and then the stock start to rise before some days before the release of the data. And on the release of the data, what happened? The stocks go down, and people can't understand this. Because
right.
They say, why, if the news is so good, why this is going down? I can explain you, because on the markets, most of things happens with only the expectative. So we have the expectation of this being big earnings, so we buy before We buy, and when the news comes, yes, it was a big earn, so it's time to sell because we already have that profit. And doing the calculations, if you do the calculations from the price you bought for the price it's right now, it makes all the sense to sell it. So buying news when you don't know exactly what you are doing, it's a big problem. So I'm just buying because the company had an amazing results. It's not the best approach.
Exactly. Absolutely. So I think BABA next week will be that stock that will kind of guide what's going to happen with Chinese stocks. I think absolutely. Right now, let me see what Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin is doing really well after hours. After market closes in the US, Bitcoin doing 24,100 points. And when I look at Bitcoin, and let me share my screen. Let me share screen and see what's going on. This is BABA. This is how BABA, you can see how Alibaba next week, absolutely, if you pay attention, we are sitting at the 29.50% Fibonacci retracement. I can still see Alibaba coming down to $97 and wouldn't be a problem before earnings. Earnings is going to be next week, the 23rd. I think BABA will do absolutely, it's going to mash earnings, and we will see BABA before March somewhere around $140. I repeat, Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA, 138 before the end of March of 2023. Now, looking at Bitcoin against the US dollar, something I want to look at this structure, not the cleanest structure. I will say that this is this whole thing here down there. This is the bird trap, right? This is where you trap birds. They were so happy. They were thinking, and I was one of those guys. I was one of those guys thinking, well, if Bitcoin drops to $9,000, I'm a buyer. Never happened. So I want to pay attention to that. I want to make sure I look at that. And right there, I'm going to just drop this. All that action down there, that's the bird trap. Massive bird trap. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks. 10 weeks to trap the birds, the short sellers. And there you go.
That's a big trap.
It's a big trap. It took a while for them to set up the trap, but I will say, no doubts, before in the next 2 weeks, Leo, we have Bitcoin trading at 25,000. Now, looking at structure, I'm looking for trend Fibonacci. Look at this massive. What I will call this, you know what I will call this, Leo? I will call this is a bullish. This is a flag.
Yes.
This is what we're looking. We're looking for the bullish flag. And it is a flag. You look at this. This is the long structure. This is where it pauses. Within the flag, you're looking for the structure to break out. Obviously, because it's a bullish flag. It's bullish. And right now what happened also, when you look at Fibonacci, a lot of investors, they look for the 38.2%. They look for the 61.8. But when you have an asset, and this is for everything, copper, sugar, currencies, whatever you want to call it, when it's very bid, it's bid, they don't have to drop that much. And that's the challenge that a lot of investors, a lot of technical traders, that's the challenge, because they're looking for 38 and 61.8% of Fibonacci. But the reality is that because they like the assets so much, then is when you have the flag formation, because the pullback is very tight, very, very tight. And people cannot react to very tight because they say like, oh, it's going to drop more. There's emotions, and you don't buy the whole thing. And right now, what it's doing is that it doesn't have to go down that much. There you go. And what's going to happen? You're going to have the breakout. And the breakout is right here. Okay. And there you go. So short term, 25,000, not a big deal. The next big level for Bitcoin, 27,000. Within a month, Leo, Bitcoin, BTC against the US dollar will be trading at $27,000. Why it's going to happen? Because everyone was short. No one's paying attention. No one cared. No one bought because they were expecting it to move lower past. They were moving at 15,000. They were thinking when it was here, 15,000, they were thinking about 9,000. Didn't happen. No one bought. It's going to go up, keep going up without retail investors. That's what happens all the time. My goal, $27,000 Bitcoin by the end of March 2023.
I'm going to write this.
It's like, bro, this is what you said. This is why people don't watch the show, because you said a couple weeks ago that by the end of March 2023, there will be at $27,000.
That's great, my friend.
Yeah. What else you got there? What else you're watching? What else you're looking at?
So I haven't paid attention of a lot of stuff because I completely lost my my guides, that is COT data.
Right.
So what I'm doing is just this zigzag trades and nothing else. So right now I wait to see if I can have this breakdown on GBP CHF, or also on oh, let me just check on thing. No, yes. Let me see if this makes sense. For hours. No, this. Yeah, my friend, I don't think I have something that is really screaming for attention.
Right.
Yes, I think the only thing that is near this, but it's not a really a big trade, is this is silver.
Right.
This,
okay. Silver.
There's this amazing information. We also have some signals using the. You see here this beautiful and strong impulse on the RSI, but no pullback as I expect, and really nothing. How can I say? Relevant from the point of view of that I can say, like we said last week, go long on this, go short on this. That's nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. But the most important is that not every week we're going to have something very important. Like today, I think like the focus has to be Marathon Digital Holdings, MARA. That's the ticker symbol that everyone has to pay attention to. I think that's a great play. So in that sense, but that's not a problem. That's something that we have to really understand. And not every week we're going to have a big trade that we're going to kind of deliver to everyone. So I think we start with this. That's pretty simple. Couple notes on the ideas that we're playing. So yeah, it makes sense, man. It's absolutely crazy today. A lot of stocks that they were not doing very well by the second half of 2022. Now they're actually kind of exploding. I told you Ray Dalio, the writer from, you said 3 books. I actually have right there. That's one, that's Principles. And over here, I don't see, you can see over there, somewhere there, I have,
yes,
somewhere there, man, somewhere there, I have World Order. And the reality is that when you have these big hedge funds, Fondo de Cobertura, these big investment firms that are unloading in these stocks that people are giving, they're going to take for granted that AMC, because it's a theater, there's nothing to do. But think about this. We've been watching Netflix for so many years, Leo, for so many years. Fuck Netflix. I'm tired. I want to go out. I want to talk to people. I want to, when you're in a movie theater, you kind of feel the vibe, the energy, the laughs. When people laugh, you kind of get, it's contagious, man. And the energy, the good vibes. And you're like, wow, that was a great movie. That's what it is right now. People want to go back to the movies. So absolutely go watch Quantum Mania, Ant-Man 3. It's going to be a great movie. You got to be excited. Let's go back to the theater and let's buy some AMC stock, because it's going to be great. And also Mission Impossible. I don't know which number, because I think it's like Mission Impossible, like 23,000.
Like Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious 10 with Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa is going to be, and man, it's funny. Summer is going to be hot. Summer is going to be great. And Jason Momoa is going to be the bad guy in Fast 10. It's actually not the last movies. They're doing like two parts. Like, everyone's going to squeeze it the last dime that can have consumers. So Vin Diesel is not the exception to the rule, trying to make money. But actually, I mean, they've been doing this for more than a decade. So you have to think like Fast X is going to be really that movie. So Jason Momoa is playing like the son of the bad guy in Brazil on Fast and Furious 6. And apparently I was watching Emergency Awesome, which is Charlie from the US. He was doing a review on the whole thing. And I mean, he's not sure. He just kind of put everything together based on the trailers. But he was saying that basically this is the guy that was financing the bad guy, which is Charlize Theron, the girl from South Africa. This is the guy that been sponsoring all those stuff where she is the bad guy. All these guys are coming back. It's going to be great. I think it's a great movie. But yeah, so absolutely a lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good stuff to pay attention to. So if we don't have anything else, man, I think like crypto miners, Bitcoin doing really well. I wouldn't discount the fact that Dogecoin, listen, Leo, I think Dogecoin of the weekend, if we look at what, let me share with you before we go. If you look at what, I don't know if you pay attention to that tweet that Elon sent, or he actually tweeted. I think it was last night. He tweeted this, like the news. There you go, man, right there. The new CEO at Twitter. It's amazing. Dogecoin. I think absolutely, if there's one thing that I will say for short term, all the way from the weekend to next Friday, potentially it's something that would make money. I wouldn't be surprised to make 30% of my money just trading Dogecoin over the weekend. You definitely want to pay attention, buy that through Coinbase or Binance for what it's worth. That's where you can do that. And absolutely, Dogecoin, not a bad move in the short term, a little bit of potential there. And he was going into this interview with the World Summit. He did that interview when he was talking about the X platform and where he sees Twitter, actually, how the interaction he thinks Twitter can potentially be, which is like a little bit like WeChat in China. WeChat, basically, you have everything in WeChat. You make payments, communication, you buy products, everything. And I think like in the reality, this is something that we kind of see with Instagram a little bit. Snapchat, they had the idea, but I think actually at the end of the day with Elon's funding, because you need money, programming, it's very intense to kind of work everything out. People think it's just a tweet. It's not a tweet. There's a lot of data that is transported and stuff that people don't understand, loading time, everything. Those are things that he is actually, for the first time, people are actually understanding that Twitter is not just a tweet. It's a full structure, full infrastructure that people were not aware what was happening behind the curtains on Twitter. Probably not even people at Twitter knew what actually was happening, how the whole thing worked. So that's what we know. And he's kind of telling people, hey, look, you think it's a tweet, you think it's just accounts that we're suspending. I mean, the rabbit hole, the essence of how damaged Twitter was, it was broken. I mean, Twitter was heavily broken. And we're not saying like he was just a savior, but he was someone that is guiding everyone to understand a startup, a company where you have programmers, coders, everything is not just the face of the whole thing. There's a lot of work that has to be done, and especially when people communicate ideas and that kind of stuff. So yeah, overall, over the weekend, I think like Dogecoin, absolutely a play that we have to consider. FX, a little bit slow, but I think like at some point they're going to be a breakout. We want to make sure, and I'm betting the breakout will be against the US dollar. They don't want the US dollar to go up. They are letting go up, but you don't see the dollar going up having big moves to the downside in the euro dollar. The euro is very close to the 105 range that we have as a massive buy. I think that once we get to that level, if we get to that level, I want to be long euro. not because it's doing better than the dollar, it's because Europe goes where China goes. And if China is going up, Europe is going up. So we want to be Euro buyers. Also, big time for me. I want to be long Australian dollar against the Japanese yen, buying risk. I don't believe what the Japanese are doing. I believe Japan is going to be more in the quantitative easing. They're going to be throwing money at people. Stocks are going to go up. China is doing the same. Long Australian dollar against the Japanese yen, Leo. That's what I think.
That's great, my friend.
Perfect. So I think with this, we leave for the show for the week.
Yes, let's see if we have more things for the next week. And I want to thank you, Jose, for your time. It's always a pleasure to be with you, my friend.
Likewise, my friend.
Yes, I know that things are rushed for you, and you get this time for us. And I also want to thank everyone for watching us. We in a short time, you know that we are going to be the best FX show on YouTube, and you remember this. That's it, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Leo. Tchau, tchau. Obrigado.
Tchau, tchau. Obrigado. Tchau, tchau.